Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Talking with PB. So, I am a little stressed out right now. I have finals this week. Um, I think this episode comes out next week, but if you guys are not aware, and I'm sure I tell you guys a million times in my other videos, because apparently I'm not uploading these in the correct order, or I'm not doing the audio. I have done the audio for all of these, all the videos I have recorded, um, for this talking with PB. I have all the videos recorded. I just need to do my voiceover, and I did not like the. Well, okay. So this is sort of a learning process, right? There's a huge learning curve when learning how to speak to yourself to an imaginary audience, and I'm still going through this learning curve. Therefore, whenever I finish one of these, I'm just like, God, that was so boring, or I just went on and on about that one topic forever. And especially when I have Audacity open in front of me, I can see, the time going on in me speaking. And I'm just like, oh man, I started talking about that thing at minute 10, and now it's minute 20, and I just finished. So I have not enjoyed some of the voiceovers I've done. So I think I've literally done every single one of them over. Some of them more than once. Um, yeah. So, and the point of me saying that, other than the fact that I'm saying I'm trying, guys, I'm trying to keep learning this, and I'm still messing with my audio settings and stuff like that because there's just so many variables that keep coming into the equation with my microphone that I I still haven't found, the sweet spot of audio, but eventually that'll come. What else? Oh, the point of me saying this is that this week is the first week in December, and since probably mid-November, I have been pre-recording episodes of things, but not rendering them. So my hard drive is like chock full of videos right now. It's not happy with me, and I have so many. I've edited so many of them too. I just need to render them. Like I think I've I've recorded like probably another 7 episodes of Borderlands that I are still just in the folder as raw video files. And the reason I've been pre-recording and doing stuff like that is because this is my last week of school. This is my last week of access to internet that's not Starbucks. Well, good upload internet that's not Starbucks. So I have had to pre-record a lot of things so I can give you guys some content over this next month, where I'm gonna be very, very not available to upload things. I can upload short little videos, sort of like what I'm gonna do in January when I upload the list, which reminds me I have to do the list. If you read my first summary, my first description of my MHC December video, the very first one, you'll see exactly when I had the realization that I still need to do the list of players, the player list. I was just like, oh my god, I still need to do the player list. I don't have time for summaries. Enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Here are the links you probably need, and goodbye. That's essentially what that description is. I'm not gonna edit it. It's gonna stay there, so womp womp. I'm having a lot of fun, really. I've only recorded one episode of MHC December, and I also don't have an intro for that yet. I haven't found the perfect song. When I think of MHC December, The Great Race, I think of the Rat Race with like Mr. Bean. God, what is his name? I always call him Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, and all those actors with Whoopi Goldberg in it. I can't even remember at this point. But like every actor and their mother was in that movie, and I scarcely remember it. But it's a sort of a saying, right? The rat race is a saying, and so every time I think of the Great Race, I think, oh, the rat race. So I sort of want an like a track that sounds like that, a track that sounds very happy. And I just have not been able to find that, and I was very frustrated when I was looking for it the other day because I wanted to. The other day, Sunday, I recorded the intro Sunday, And I want to restrict all my intros to 10 seconds. I want them to all be 10 seconds or less. But I find it very difficult to record as a very short narrative in 10 seconds. Um, so we'll see. I'll probably change the intro. I already have the intro edited. I just need the track. And yeah, I'm very aggravated that I haven't found one. It's currently Monday. I also recently just started a tertiary Twitter, a Twitter in which I follow. It's just okay. So I have a main Twitter, right? I've had this Twitter. Is it this Twitter? Have I always had this Twitter? I think I've had this Twitter. My original. I think it's my original Twitter since 2010, 2009 or 10. It was when Twitter was a wee little baby. It was a little baby with the principal cheeks and the adorable web design. It was just a little child back then, basically, and nowhere near what it is now. But I've had this one forever, and I just recently started using it. Like I say recently, like 4 years ago. I started getting into it when I went to college. Is when I started using Twitter a lot more, and about 5 years now. Yeah, 4 years, four-ish. I can't remember if I used it in high school, but so I've been using that, and my Twitter, my main Twitter, is primarily my news Twitter. It's where I find out about real life news. I follow BBC UK, BBC World News, CBS Breaking News, CNN Breaking News, CNN World. Um, I follow ABC. I follow MSNBC. I follow Ellen, the Ellen DeGeneres Show. Um, I follow The Advocate. Some freelance journalists. I follow like 5 different anonymous accounts, and so much more, so much more. When something happens, when something big happens, when someone goes missing, when there's a natural disaster, when there's a war starting somewhere, or a revolution, my Twitter feed will not shut up for at least the first 12 hours after that happens, and then there's the follow-up stories. But for those first 12 hours, it's all breaking news, and I'm like, I know. I found out about this when you first tweeted about it. So, and then also it's news for just keeping updated with what my friends are doing, and what they're accomplishing, and their mental state essentially. And then I have my PB Plays Twitter, which I started specifically so I would be able to, one, listen to what bands are saying, like actual bands who have Twitters, and their members. And then I also have, the people, um, mainly it's a lot of big YouTubers that I've been following forever, and I also follow on my other account, but I never see their, I never see their, oh, and I also follow Dota 2 News over there on that other one, but I never see their, their tweets that pop up because my Twitter feed is always moving. Yeah, it's always moving. There's never a dull moment on my original account because I follow like a shit ton of people. I think I'm up to 667 people I follow. And like I said, it's just purely news. And so I have a PB Plays, which I follow all the YouTube things and all the band things that I'm interested in that I normally wouldn't see, but since I almost follow no one on PB Plays, I follow a lot of people compared to my first one, my original account. It's like child's play. And so recently, like you guys obviously know, I talk about it so much, and I'm gonna talk it a lot about it a lot more in other episodes. But I am super obsessed with Carmilla, and the cool thing about the way Carmilla's doing their PR is that they own and they run their own Twitter accounts for their characters. For example, there's a Laura, a Laura, Laura. I don't know. People say names weird ways. Laura has one, Carmilla has one, LaFontaine, Perry, Kirsch, I think Will has one. They all have like an official PR account, and which is really cool because since Carmilla is filmed in a as a blog, um, and there's only one, fixed point camera in the dorm, there's a lot of things that we only hear about. And to fill us in and get more world building into this short web series, they they really up their game, and they have Tumblrs, and they answer questions, fan questions and stuff like that. And it's basically like you would interact with the character themselves, and it's really cool. And so I started following a lot of that, but I followed on PB Plays because that's the Twitter I'm logged into in my Opera web browser. And at one point I'm just like, I want to reblog all the things, but this is not the appropriate account to do this. And there's no way I would ever find any of these tweets in my original account. So I started a new tertiary, a third Twitter account in which I follow all the Carmilla things and all the things that I want to see, like all the actors and the people saying things, but I normally wouldn't be able to see them because news happens 24/7 essentially, and my Twitter feed's always going, always running, whether it's Dota 2 news breaking, whether it is players, whether it's actual life news, revolutions, wars, controversy, politics. Oh, I follow like 12,000 politicians too. They're probably the ones who fill up my feed the most, especially recently during the elections. My God. All the things and people telling me stupid things, and I'm just like, stop it. And because I'm not my Twitter account's very bipartisan in the fact that I follow both Republicans and Democrats. I don't just, um, limit myself to one or the other because I want to know the whole story. And sometimes the other candidate is better for the job. And yeah, so literally today, while I was waiting for my MHC December to render, that's what I did. Um, oh, let me close out of this. That's no longer important to my life. Like right now, I'm logged into my normal account. Let's see. It's been 40 minutes since I last checked it, and it tells me there are 148 new tweets. I follow 677. I apologize. Oh, 152 now. What time is it? Yep, it's about to be turn of the hour. People are gonna start doing things. Now I push that, and now it has. Oh no, there we go. I'm expecting more because usually. No, apparently not. Yep, I had 150 something. So yeah, that's my life. I also follow a bunch of YouTubers and just random things. So, oh, and a bunch of PC gaming news, stuff like that. Man, everything. I follow absolutely everything, and that's why I never see anything. I follow everything, therefore I see nothing, and yet everything. So, I started a third one just specifically for things like Carmilla that I want to follow behind. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, I even go to websites now. It's just like, I don't watch the news. I don't have my TV connected to cable because my cable's cable no longer works on my television, or maybe just the cable no longer works. So I can't watch TV in my room, and ain't nobody got time for recapping, for going on Hulu or some other website to catch up on world news. So I just use Twitter to stay informed. And sometimes YouTube videos, but I find YouTube videos to be very polarized to one side or the other, either very liberal or very conservative. It's very hard to find a what is the word? Middle of the ground. What is the word for middle of the ground? I can't remember, but it's really hard to find the middle of the ground just, you know, YouTube series. I used to follow like SourceFed and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't anymore. And I'm still somehow the most informed person in my group of friends. I don't even know how that happened. Like, I don't even watch news. Like, they have access, they watch TV, and they're still not informed. I'm the one that, when we hang out, I'm just like, oh yeah, did you hear about this, and this thing, and how this, and this, and all of these facts, and this, and they're like, what? It's like, I heard that happen, but I didn't hear all of this. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I'm not doing any external research on any of these things, and yet I still happen to know some more, a lot more than my friends, which makes me a little bit sad, to be honest with you, that my friends are not more informed. But what are you gonna do other than, just try to encourage them to stay active in their world, the world around them, more like it. So, oh man, let me stretch out. Oh, it's been a long day. Squeaky chair, squeaky chair, squeaky chair. Oh, it hasn't even. It's I think it's 4 p.m. It's about to be 4 p.m. I am tired, y'all. I'm super tired. So the last thing I recorded, just to further date my content, the last talking with PB I recorded was the one about music. I recorded the one all about music where I told you guys about when I asked you guys what your favorite song was and how I talked to you about Gershwin, Tchaikovsky, and I educated you guys in case you didn't know how to say Chopin or Tchaikovsky, which are two of my favorites. There's Shostakovich, Rachmaninoff, Stravinsky. There's a lot of people who have really fun names in music history that you only see written down and you never really know how to say them. Like Haydn, Handel. Some of them I mispronounce on purpose, just and to the point that I've forgotten how to say their names correctly. But since Tchaikovsky is one of my favorites, I prioritize learning his name. I did that in high school actually. I did a project on him. He was my quote unquote hero. I I so there's a couple of things in life I'm not good at. Just a couple, guys. One of the things I am not good at is giving compliments. It's not that, I don't want to compliment you or, I'm throwing shade. I just don't know how to compliment people. I'm like, you have good teeth. I'm like on that level of complimenting. Like, I don't know how to sincerely give compliments. And it's a real problem, guys, because I don't know how to send thank you cards because of that. And I'm like, thank you for the money, or thank you for, doing that thing. I really appreciate it. Sometimes I'm not good with flowery language. Um, Sometimes I'm great. Most of the time I'm not. And because I don't know how to give compliments and stuff, I don't really have a hero. Like, there's no one I really look up to in life. I just, I appreciate a lot of people and I appreciate what they've done for history and I admire a lot of people. But no one's like my hero, you know? And maybe you don't know, because everyone I've ever met has a hero or someone they look up to. And I'm like, I don't really look up to anyone. No one's really, my hero. There's no one in my life that I can pinpoint that has made such a significant impact on my life, other than, my parents and stuff like that. Um, in a positive manner, that I would classify them as a hero and someone I look to be in the future. Like, I look at people and I'm like, I see what you did there and I really like that, so I'm probably going to use your choices of the past and let them affect my future. If that makes any sense at all. So whenever, like, I had this, and only once in my life have I ever had to do a project where I did this, and it was in my junior year in my U.S. history class, in my AP U.S. history class. We had to, it was a joke. It was basically a joke project because our AP exams were over. but school's not over after AP exams are, even though for everyone it is. Like for us, we're like, for the students after AP week is over, we're just like, and I'm just gonna sleep for the rest of my life now. Like, do I have to go to school? These are the most useless weeks of my life. I'm just gonna sleep or do nothing. But the administration is not a big fan of that. Even the teachers, all they want to do, because they stress out also, so all they want to do is sleep. And therefore, that's we have to come. They have to come up with like a lot of BS assignments to give us. And so we had one, and it was um, do a project on our hero, and we just had to do a short presentation. And I did it on Tchaikovsky because I had just recently learned about Tchaikovsky and how to say his name, and I wanted an excuse to, research him further. And I'm like, and I totally BS'd my way through that, and everyone was just like, "You BS'd your way through it," and I'm like, "Yes, I did." I'm not denying it. I 100% just BS my way through this because I don't have a hero. But I didn't want to go up there and be so callous and be like, I don't have a hero. I don't look up to anyone. I look only forward to the future. But I really don't. I don't measure myself. I don't compare myself to others in that way. I feel like, especially if you're in some sort of fine art major or path of life, the worst thing you can do is compare yourself to someone else because you will never stop comparing. Like, just look at what's his name? Van Gogh. Van Gogh was seen as one of the worst artists, one of the worst painters of his time. He was ridiculed for his art, and Van Gogh, he himself did not believe in his art, and now he's one of the most revered artists of all time. It's like, I'm sure we can't all be Michelangelo. We all can't sculpt because not all of us are sculptors. Wait, did Michelangelo also do? I feel like he also did sculpting. Did he also do sculpting? I feel like he did. We're just gonna go under that canon. And yeah, so I don't really compare myself to anyone because if I do that, I'm just always gonna be disappointed in myself or them, depending on the outcome. Like if it turns out it's a very easy accomplishment, I'm just gonna be like, well, that wasn't really anything. That took me like 5 seconds to do. Or I'm gonna be like, man, I can't, I will never be able to reach your level. And just like I don't really aspire to be anyone either. I mean, I would love to be able to innovate conducting and just teaching on a level like Leonard Bernstein did. But Leonard Bernstein isn't my hero. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry. So I have this thing where I don't like artificial smells, if that makes sense. I don't like incense. I fucking hate incense. Incense gives me a headache and I hate it so much. But my mom every night lights that shit up and it fills the house with that smell and I just want to kill myself. I really hate it, but it makes her happy, so whatever. Her house. But also, my room is literally right next door to the bathroom. The only thing separating me and the bathroom is one wall. Yeah, and so because I don't like artificial smells, I don't like incense, I also don't like air freshener. Air freshener makes me want to throw up. And you know why? Because the only time you ever use air freshener is to cover up a bad smell. Well, you know what? My brain equates bad smells to air freshener now because you still smell the trash or any other thing you're trying to cover up. If you use frickin' air freshener, there's no point. You're just lying to yourself if you use air freshener. Like, to me, if I smell, like, my mom buys the same brand of Glade air freshener for the bathroom, and every time my dad goes to the bathroom, he uses like half a can in there. And you know what I equate that smell to now? I equate it to poop. Yep. To me, that same brand smells exactly like poop. In my mind, there's no difference. I recognize that they're different smells and that it's supposed to smell like fucking rain or something, but to me, it might as well be poop because but it's, it has the same reaction out of me. I react exactly the same to it, and it's fucking disgusting. I hate it so much. So I hate air freshener and I hate incense. And the reason I hate air freshener, incense has always given me a headache. I don't know why. Something about smoke is just not pleasant to me. But the reason I hate air freshener is because my freshman year of high school, my band went to Disney World in Florida, and we voted to go by bus, which is a terrible idea because it's an 18-hour ride from Texas to Florida. Um, so we went 18 hours, and we had this air freshener on my bus that was orange. It was of the orange smelling department, and someone decided to break the rule of no number two on the bus, and went number two in the bathroom of the bus, and our bus smelled terrible. So someone sprayed the cheap orange scented air freshener in the air, and then it just smelled like poop and oranges. And we had to ride on the bus for like 10 hours like that. And so on the way there, on the way back, people learned their lesson. But I mean, 10 hours of just having to sit in an air conditioned bus with that smell, just ugh. And so ever since then, I've hated air freshener because I smell the thing under it, and now especially if it's the same one over and over again, I'm just gonna equate the smell to whatever you're trying to cover up. So yeah, I don't like air freshener either. And incense, because um, artificial smoke, smoke machines and stuff like that. You have to pour stuff in it to make smoke and whatnot. I went on a ride in that same Disney trip, and I learned something about myself. I was on the 4D adventure with Lilo and Stitch, and they throw smoke at you. And I read the warning before about may cause nosebleeds, but I didn't really think anything of it until I got there, and they did that, and then my nose just started spewing blood, and I was like, what the mess? And I could have gotten out of the thing, but I didn't want to because Disney is a large place, and I did not want to, leave my friends and be out alone at night in Disney World. And so I learned that whenever there's that warning for nosebleeds, I'm gonna be the person who gets that nosebleed, and I don't know what it is, and it really bothers me that I don't know what it is. So yeah, I also get nosebleeds a lot because of that, and it's so weird because I haven't gotten a nosebleed in years now. Probably because I haven't been near a smoke machine in years, but it's just super weird. It's just one of those weird things that we use chemicals that do, elicit specific responses from our human bodies. And it all ties into me being absolutely fascinated by the human. I think humans are fascinating. I think their minds are fascinating. I think their emotions are fascinating. I think our physical reactions to things are fascinating. And I love just how we grow as people and how we adapt to certain situations. I think we're fascinating. I know a lot of people don't, but I think humans are just blow my mind fascinating. Now, I don't exactly know how long this episode is because I'm recording this freelance. I'm using the timestamp of the original audio of this to figure out how long I should be recording, but I think I talked for like 8 minutes over the video time, so I'm just gonna assume it's 30 minutes. So I'm gonna stop this recording here. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy the non-music. Tell me if you like the fact that this doesn't have music. It's just me over a video. The one before this one, it is gonna have music over it, under me talking and over the video. But yeah, let me know what you think, and then in January I'll try to adjust adjust it. Before until then, I'm just gonna sort of do a yes no type of thing. Like some videos are gonna have the audio, some of them don't. It just depends honestly how much time I have to render things because rendering takes about 2 to 3 hours on my computer, and I have a lot of videos to render, and I have a lot of recording still to do. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see. Oh, question of the day. Sorry. Tell me a weird fact about yourself. My weird fact is that I get nosebleeds. I get nosebleeds when there's a smoke machine on. So, and that I don't like incense or air freshener. All three of those are weird facts about me. So tell me a weird fact about yourself down in the comments. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.